NIO at the annual Auto Shanghai show edition 2021 has been making massive news both domestically within China and worldwide. With the unveiling of their brand new ET7 with inside looks, many new investors and analysts recently clung onto the brand and the global market expansion. We have an absolute ton of fascinating news coming out of their camp. In today's episode, we're going to be touching on their new software program, their quest to become increasingly vertically integrated, construction on their next upcoming plant with expansion details becoming increasingly clear. We'll also be discussing recent price targets and new analyst upgrades on NIO Stock. Welcome to the show. My name is Nick. Let's dive right in. Webull is giving out 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850 using the link in my pinned comment. All you have to do is sign up and deposit $100. You can trade before and after hours markets, which can be crucial and keep you ahead of the pack. They are a 0% commission trading platform. It really is a cannot lose. This offer ends soon. You do not want to sleep on it. If you want to support the channel, check out our Patreon page. We have more content under the radar stocks behind the scenes, and this also gains you access into our private Discord channel. This is where you can see all of my real-time trades, and the chat is always popping off. All right, let's dive right in. So let's start off by taking a quick look at their share price. They had a big day on the markets, up 3.82%. They are now sitting at $41.08. Up $1.51. This beat out the overall macro market, with the Nasdaq up 1.44%. So just as I had suspected, NIO did once again bounce off of that mid-30s support, and for the first time in weeks closed out the trading period above the $40 mark. Now, there are currently a lot of factors acting on this share price, and I do expect to see heavy volatility moving into next week into their Q1 earnings. I will have full live coverage of their earnings call to guide you all of any upcoming movements and what I am personally doing with the stock. It will be a fun one. So we have now seen a nice 5-day run, finishing up in each day consecutively. This has not happened for a very long time, and we haven't seen these kinds of closing share prices for over a month now. Now, moving into next week, we're going to have at least 3 factors acting on their share price. We will have the continuation of Auto Shanghai, an increased focus on their company and their news releases. NIO is announcing its first quarter earnings report on April 29th. We know they have delivered 20,060 vehicles in the quarter, posting an all-time record. This also represents a 422.7% year-over-year increase. This is objectively astronomical. I do know their figures from Q1 last year were obviously subdued because of the health situation. Nonetheless, this is still a huge feat. Now, lastly, also on April 29th, the company is set to commence in conjunction with the city of Hefei, their factory located at the Jinqiao Smart Car Industrial Park. This will be a massive auto park with huge global names, and NIO will be alongside these brands, really making a name for themselves. Now, what's important here is that this will be the company's second factory. They are expected to have an output capacity of around 600,000 vehicles per annum once this factory is up and running. This is extremely bullish news for the future of their delivery output. We know this construction will take roughly a year, 370 days until completion, which lines up pretty nicely with their upcoming release of their newest sedan, the ET7, scheduled for Q1 2022. I by no means think this is a coincidence. Now, I am hopeful they will be able to deliver around 250,000 vehicles in 2022. And I do think the demand is already there. Now, the company and the global EV capacity is currently hindered by the semiconductor shortage. There are reports emerging from China that NIO is likely to overcome these supply constraints by the summer months. However, with rapidly growing demand and only marginally growing supply, I'm not certain we're out of the woods just yet. I will continue to follow the story as it develops. NIO has given guidance for around 7,500 units delivered per month until these summer months. However, this is something we're going to have to follow quite closely. This new factory in development is proposed to be a state-of-the-art facility dedicated to research and development, manufacturing their product obviously, lifestyle services, and automotive culture. Quite vague, however, we can expect this to be quite similar to their already pre-existing JAC motors. We know they are planning on expanding that facility as well, doubling its capacity per annum, which was 150,000, so getting to that 300,000 mark out of both facilities. I do think we will see increased NIO partnerships with other big brands from within this park in the coming quarters. Now, something I don't really hear anybody talking about, this deal does signify strengthening ties between NIO and the state. While I won't get too in-depth into the subject on today's episode, it is important to quickly glance over. We have seen the Holding Foreign Companies Accountable Act come into law with the increased pressure on Chinese companies to comply with all securities auditing on American stock exchanges or risk being delisted. This, compounded by short sellers instilling fear, sent many Chinese-based companies plummeting past few months. However, I am personally not too concerned with holding Chinese-listed large-cap companies and well-established Chinese companies. I by no means think it is within NIO's interest of being delisted from North American capital sources. This would force them to resolve to just the Hong Kong Stock Exchange or look for other sources of capital. They would be exposed to far less liquidity, and I do think they will do everything under the sun, everything within their power to mitigate these fears. However, that being said, it is important to understand that with building this facility, the bond between NIO and the Hefei government actually grows, even though NIO has been purchasing back NIO China. Just something to consider. Now, shifting gears, we know that NIO has been pouring capital into its R&D efforts centered on autonomous driving. It's key for them, and they see huge upside within this field. We have witnessed their Aquila program with 33 high-performance sensing units and long-range high-res LiDAR to achieve full-stack NAD. This is their NIO autonomous driving platform. Now, they are making a point in proving they are able and apt to design, develop, and implement this technology without outsourcing. NIO has historically used an outsourcing model through JAC Motors. However, we are seeing hints of vertical integration. Now, I've seen rumors floating around the internet stating that NIO is likely to adopt Huawei's tech that is showcased in the ArcFox Alpha S. This is essentially nonsensical and is extremely unlikely. Li Bin has already addressed this, stating that NIO is dedicated to insourcing their core tech as opposed to outsourcing, especially to software competitors like Huawei. There were also leaks coming out that Li Bin believes that NIO's upcoming ET7's autopilot is superior than ArcFox is equipped with the Huawei software. A nice little tidbit there and some insight into what we can expect from the ET7 in the coming months. Alright, moving on to NIO's new power program called NIO Power Cloud. So NIO Power is of course NIO's energy replenishment system. This for NIO specifically comes in the form of their battery swap stations, their fast charging station network, their at-home charging piles, and their unique charging van fleet. This altogether is of course a behemoth quantity of data and analytics to maintain the optimal efficiency of this vast network. And this is where NIO Power Cloud comes into play. This is the foundational system that allows the smart energy system to optimize its energy and battery use. NIO Power Cloud has access to more than 380,000 power replenishing sources and provides consumers with the best route and data in real time when they use their one-click power-up services. NIO at this point has completed more than 9.8 million personalized power-up recommendations, and is just another example of how this company is providing its user base with a superior experience than competitors, in my opinion, of course. NIO Power is also monitoring the status of each and every single battery in real time, and by doing this, they can appropriately prevent damaged batteries from re-entering circulation. Now, moving on to the stock and where I think share prices could reach in the next few weeks. NIO recently received new coverage on the stock from CLSA analyst Subin Park. Park initiated coverage with a buy rating and a $50 price target. The thesis covers aspects of NIO's business, such as their rapid expansion, and this is both in terms of the European rollout, which we will likely gain more information on May 6th or 7th, and their Power North program, in which they are expanding into 8 underdeveloped Chinese provinces. If you want more info into their Power North program, I recently made a whole video on it. Now, I really do think their share price is going to be hindered on their Q1 results. As always, I'm looking at vehicle margins and gross margins, but more importantly this time, I actually want to focus my attention to their other revenue. Now, other revenue comes in the form of NIO Power, and this, as I've been stating, in my opinion, is a complete dark horse in terms of their revenue, and I do think in the coming quarters and years that NIO Power will contribute an ever-increasing proportion to their bottom line. I do think, just like we saw Tesla do, that NIO will slowly but surely move into the energy industry. I do think using a 5-day average, we'll stay around the $40 mark in the next 5 days. However, many analysts are very bullish on this next coming earnings report report, and like I said, I will have full coverage. I'm personally holding off from buying above the $40 mark, as I do think we will see increased volatility next week. This might open up some very nice but brief buying windows. I think once we get more information into the semiconductor shortage, and if this is being mitigated, and where NIO sees their Q3 and Q4 deliveries landing, that NIO could jump above $50 per share in the coming months. Don't forget about the Webull promo. 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850. All you have to do is 1. Sign up, 2. Open an account, and 3. Deposit in at least $100 using the link in my top comment. Like I said, I will have full coverage of their earnings report. You do not want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, everyone, I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, happy trading, cheers.